One of the biggest changes to our lives during the pandemic has been the move to working from home. But researchers at Germany's biggest bank now believe that those people should be taxed for the privilege.
Working from home will be part of the new normal well after the pandemic has passed. We argue that remote workers should pay a tax for the privilege. Our calculations suggest the amounts raised could fund material income subsidies for low-income earners who are unable to work remotely and thus assume more old economy and health risks.
Well, a Deutsche Bank team is suggesting an additional 5% levy for the remote staff. They do argue that it's roughly equivalent to what people save on transport and food, adding that the money could then be redistributed to those who can't work online, many of whom are blue-collar workers on low incomes. Well, the researchers estimate that such a scheme would raise around $48 billion in tax revenue in the US, $9 billion in the UK and $19 billion in Germany itself. Most surveys this year have shown positive attitudes to home-based work, and a poll in the United States did find that a hefty 72% of so-called knowledge workers want a combination of remote and office duties, while only 12% would prefer to work solely from the office. Journalist Charlie Boyle and geopolitical analyst Raina Rothfuss gave their views on the idea of a new work-from-home tax.
This needs to be proven first that the people who are working from home at the long run will save money, because if this is the new normal, as it is supposed to be, then that would also mean that you need a fully equipped office. You cannot work for the next years from your kitchen desk.
I can tell you, I'm just speaking specifically about the UK, because we've switched the narrative quite far from Boris Johnson only a month and a half ago telling people to go back to work or they're all fired, pretty much. That was the essence of the message. I think we have to have a wider conversation about working from home longer term.
If people stay at home, work from home, the turnover is reduced for many other businesses like hotel, gastronomy, like also transportation business loses turnover if people work from home. And this hurts the overall economy.
Major cost for people is ruinous, and that is getting to work. And that is in five-figure sums every year in a lot of cases. So that automatically removes the significant costs associated with getting to an office job.
The way the governments are in Europe, at least, are handling now the pandemic crisis is, in effect, suffocating economy. We have a great loss in GDP this year. We will have it next year. So I think it can never be compensated just by a simple tax.
There's no time to even implement this, even if there was the political will. And I see us all going back to work after the furlough, particularly the first 3 months of next year, once the vaccine gets rolled out. And we'll have the conversation probably in a couple of years' time again.
The governments should try to open up the economy as soon as possible, to allow people to go back to their workplaces as soon as possible, that really our economy can pick up speed again. We need that as soon as possible, and no tax can really correct this current situation that we are having now.